Okay, so it is February 26, 2024. It is 10:41 a.m. It is the professional trader here. I'm also here today with Kailash. How you doing this morning, sir?
Doing good,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been a little while since we've done one of these videos. It's good to do one again. Uh,
Oh
can
yeah,
you hear
yeah.
me? Is your audio still on?
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay, yeah, yeah. But yeah, man, how you been, man? What's changed for you, or is everything, still the same from, the last time we've spoken?
It's a bit different. Yeah, like I got the 100K account, and it's funny
Okay.
when you think you have it, you're like, I'm gonna keep it. But
Hmm.
they have this thing, they have a trailing drawdown. So let's say you start off at 100,000. If you make
Yes.
$2,000 profit,
Yeah.
instead of having your drawdown, usually it would be 97,000, it
Yeah.
trails up. So your drawdown is now 99,000.
Okay,
So you
yeah.
gotta be careful.
It's the same percent no matter how up you get, basically, right?
Until you reach 103,000. So once you reach
Uh,
103,000, it
hmm.
stops at 100,000 forever, which is good.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay. Okay. I mean, yeah, I guess in a way to kind of save themselves from, people just yeah, getting quick gains and then blowing it, I guess. I mean, not the worst thing, but like that kind of does suck, so I understand for sure.
Mhm.
Man, I
One thing I
was
learned
just
too is it's all simulated. Like most of the prop firms, I
hmm.
learned this a couple months ago, but it's actually all simulated.
Yeah.
Even the beginning, even when they say it's a live account, it's all
Hmm.
simulated.
Yes, yeah. So I've
Yeah.
heard even the futures prop firm, you'd say the same.
Yeah, even the futures prop firm. But over, if you can prove over a couple months, they do
Hmm.
start actually doing real trades.
Hmm.
Because over the long run, they would lose money
Yeah.
if it was all actually simulated.
Yeah. Man, I was just on Twitter, bro, before I started this, and the whole thing with the prop firms have been going crazy. And I'm seeing that the funded trader has been denying people of payouts. So it's just
Wow.
been it's been very weird in the Forex prop firm space. Are you doing any like Forex prop firms right now? Or are you doing strictly futures prop firms?
Just the futures ones. Yeah, just
Hmm.
because I'm so familiar with trading these indexes now.
Yeah.
Like a year and a half ago, I had
Hmm.
no clue. But over the past year, I've been getting so familiar with it.
Okay.
It's really just like you wake up in the morning and you have everything all set up.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. In just a minute, bro, you'll have to kind of run through some of the stuff you're looking at, but.
That'd be cool. Yeah, yeah.
I just want to kind of look at some forex pairs real quick and the DXY. I'm still relatively bullish on the DXY. What's your opinion on the DXY?
So just looking at your screen, because I actually haven't been looking too closely. I know I've been seeing it kind of fade back, and
Hmm.
I wouldn't call it choppy, but it doesn't have like the full momentum. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, pretty
It
much. Like,
it's
I can see though inside bars right
yeah,
now,
yeah, for
daily,
sure.
inside, inside,
Hmm.
inside.
Yeah. It's been impulsing, consolidating. So, it's most definitely not bullish right now, but I think for me, it hasn't printed a lower low. It broke this once previous resistance at 104.584. That's why I have it marked. They could put a little bit higher. But, we're right back at that once, resistance, probably a month ago, however long ago. And no, this was the end of January, basically, right? And we're right back to where we couldn't break out once again, but on the daily, not looking too well. But for me to like lean all the way bullish on the DXY, now just because of this candle that happened, I would really need to just see the break below then. But you know if this was to close bearish and then it was to close another candle close, lower than that, then wouldn't look too good for the DXY. So, really wouldn't want to see it come all the way down. I think for the buyers to prove themselves, I feel like, this is kind of the level, where they would have to prove it at. But, there's still 7 hours left on this daily candle. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how, this closes. But I see that there's a lot of fundamental news coming out this week. So, maybe finally we could get a trend, in the market. But that's the DXY. I just kind of want to run through two of the pairs that I am trading. I'm gonna show the better one first, just because yeah. But uh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah, the trade is cool, but for me, I like how the analysis played out more just because I've been looking at it on a more long-term basis, and I'm gonna just kind of delete this. But for me, basically, I was looking at Euro AUD. You know, we were downtrending, for all this time, and technically we did put a lower low here, but as quick as we put a lower low, we kind of bounced right back. But big momentum to the upside. So I really just zoomed out, impulse, retracement, and then markets were kind of choppy. And I don't know if you remember the last time we talked, and I was kind of talking about the wave theory, how after the first wave in the markets, the market usually likes to retrace to the 51 or the 618 level. So it was pretty interesting, to just kind of watch it play out again.
Yeah.
Had that 618 level that the market kind of impulsed off of, but after that impulse, the market was just kind of choppy, but never put in a lower low. So that's why I always like the market, still to the upside. So it's cool to see it play out, and yeah, I'm right, cool also as well. But it's kind of cool to see like how the market really just moves in waves, and how if you're patient enough, the market will continue the wave, either one way or the other. So. Yeah, that's just my thoughts on your AUD. I have my stop loss to break even, but I'm not gonna take profit on it just yet because I really want to see if if we can finally break out of this consolidation that's been going on for a month. And if we can, then I have one take profit that's set at 1.6672. But then if the market is really ready to trend, then I'm looking to try to target some of these highs back up here. But I'm down in my account, but not really too worried about it because if the market really does trend in a true direction, then I could really uh pass my phase two as well as make up that 5% realistically off one trade. But that's my Euro AUD trade. And then I want to share one more trade, not going as well, but it's GBP USD. Um I watched this guy's name is Trader Nick. I know I mentioned him before. He created this program that's called the Edge Finder, and it kind of creates a bias on like the market. His bias on his program is reading bullish on GBP USD, but I personally still like it to the downside just because it's bullish most definitely at the moment, but just from a market structure standpoint, after impulsing to the downside, breaking these support levels right here, we retraced perfectly to from a wave theory standpoint, we retrace perfectly, to that 618, level right here. So, when I extend the fib, out, we impulsed after retracing to that 618, couldn't find that momentum, tried to find it at the 50 percent level, kind of found it, but, buyers stepped in, hit the 618 level again, looked like it was going to close above, big, impulse to the downside. And then, now it's just steadily, kind of heading back up. It's slightly above the 618, but I feel like, this 618 level could still hold. And it's, in a way, it's kind of triple topping. It's rejected once here, rejected here a second time. And if it can reject here, then I think, finally we could get a move, to the downside. So those are the two markets that I am watching, but I do also like USD CAD just because it hasn't created a lower low yet. It's just been making these lower highs. And if the DXY, can continue to the upside, then I think, USD CAD is prone to go higher as well. So those are my thoughts on the market. Can you share your screen, man? Are you able to?
Yeah, yeah. One thing I was gonna say about the GBP I
Mm-hmm.
like is so you know how it spent so much time going sideways? Like
Mm-hmm.
it spent like 3 weeks. I think it was like yeah, 13th
Yeah.
December to
Yeah.
January
Yeah.
31st.
Literally.
Almost 2 months. It's the
Literally.
highest volume, or sorry, that's actually different. It probably lines up though. Let me
No,
full
yeah,
screen
GBP USD has spent a long time consolidated.
this area when it was consolidating around the highest volume area. That's
Hmm.
exactly like 127.1. So that's where your resistance is, like that triple top.
Yeah.
I can put it on the 4 hour too. So I'm looking at that. You know what's funny too? Last time we talked, I haven't changed anything about this chart because I haven't been looking at your Forex recently.
Yeah.
But it's just so funny how like this location right here has held, like that's
Yeah.
helps at the
Perfectly.
bottom. It's
Hmm.
the highest volume area of that little kind of pullback, little
Yeah.
sideways area. And this area is initially that's has to be tested is acting as like a tiny bit of resistance.
Yeah.
And before there was about a lot of chop going into that. And I like the Euro AUD thing. Let's see. It's I think of it like it's like a door. The more
Hmm.
taps at the door, it's
Yeah.
trying to break the door.
Yeah.
So there's obviously no guarantees. Like we don't know it depends on how strong the door is, and it depends on how strong the people
Hmm.
pushing the door are. But
Hmm.
you can see they're at the moment they're trying to break the highs, but you can also kind of say equally they've been trying to break the lows. But I agree. When you zoom out, it's more of a it's like rounding. It's more rounding out at the bottoms
Yeah.
rather than rounding out at the tops. Like it's not
Yeah.
really rounding out, but it's more
Yeah.
rounding out at the bottoms.
It's
So I
like
agree. It looks bullish.
it was consolidating sideways, but to the right,
Yeah.
kind of like leaning up. It's just one of them things that like when you look at the markets for so long, it's like, okay, I see that it's been consolidating, but it's like it's leaning right and and it keeps tapping up like, kind of like
Yeah.
you said, kind of like a door. So yeah, I agree with you for sure.
And when you zoom out, of course, on the 3 month chart or on the monthly chart, I'd say still bullish. Like, of course, there's no red flags for the buyers, but that's higher time
Yeah.
frame. Let's see. I forgot which one I had here before. It was probably let's undo it all. But yeah, it was GBP. I like the Japanese yen, still very bullish. I mean, in terms of the US dollar, again,
Hmm.
like I haven't changed anything about this chart from last time,
Yeah.
which gives me like sometimes it gives me like I'm like, why didn't I just take a trade? It's so
Hmm.
simple, it's so
Yeah,
clear, it's
right,
so
right,
obvious,
right.
right? Exactly.
Right,
But you know
right.
what's funny? When you're in the trade, the mindset can change. And when you're
So
holding it,
much. So
yeah,
much. Yeah, so
yeah.
much.
It really goes to show. I know you already know, like
Yeah.
this is why it's so difficult. It's
Yeah.
because of the whole mindset and like
Hmm.
it's so much more than just the lines on the chart.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
Yeah.
It's I wouldn't recommend, trading when you're not in the best headset. And I feel like that's what got me
Yeah.
down so much, just because I had things going on in my personal life, still trying to trade and like,
Yeah.
they go hand in hand, man. So yeah, for sure. I
Same.
agree with you. Yeah.
Especially when you have like I had like a couple bills to pay, my bank balance is running a little bit
I
low.
know.
And then
I
it kind
know.
of forces you, it's like, well, I have to make I don't have to, but like you're kind of more pressure to try to get a certain goal. But we
Right.
can't, in terms of the market, in terms of reward, we cannot control the reward. We can only
Yeah.
control the risk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally. Yeah. Yeah.
And I got to show you WorldCoin really quickly, just
Okay.
because on the daily chart, it's really strong. So this is one of those AI tokens. They've been going up
Mhm.
a lot. And if I can just show my percentage here, it's gone up a nice
Wow.
250%,
That's
which is not too
crazy.
uncommon in crypto,
Yeah.
but it was the speed. It happened 14th of February. It was at $2.50. Now it's at $8.
Yeah. Were
It's
you
just
trading any of this?
unfortunately, yes. Yeah, I was trading a bit of it here and I
Uh-huh.
was trying to short. Honestly, that's my weakness, trying to call the top.
Yeah.
And I did get stopped out eventually. Took like a little bit of a loss.
Hmm.
And I am short, but a very small amount, like 200. I'm short 200. See, my weakness is I just wait till it gets really extended and I short right here.
Hmm.
But in reality, I should be waiting for this structure to form and I should be shorting here,
Hmm.
right? But it's still working out so far
Yeah.
a little bit.
So when did you get in on the short?
It was right here, which is
Okay. Okay,
like
nice.
it's
Nice.
working
Like at
out
the top. Okay, cool. So
exactly, but
so you
I
waited
got
on the
beaten up on the way up.
so you waited on the retracement, like didn't close on the, so you were in profit like nice at one point and it retraced on you.
Yeah, honestly, I was short up here and I got stopped out on this move higher.
Mm,
So I'm just reloading again. It's more of a fundamental trade, which I don't like personally. You already
mm,
know.
mm,
But
uh,
it's not too serious. It's only 200 coins. It's because there's 10 billion tokens, but they're going to be released in July or June.
uh-huh.
And I'm expecting maybe the market will kind of pull back and cool off a little bit before then,
Mhm.
but it's not too big of a trade.
Okay,
Mostly
cool.
I'm trading the indexes. Like this
Okay.
morning, had a good trade right here.
Yeah, man.
Just on the pullback.
What index is exactly you trading?
Yeah, this is the Nasdaq one,
Okay.
the MNQ. I trade the micros.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a really good morning because when I woke up this morning, I looked at the daily chart, I looked at the monthly chart. I just had an
Hmm.
idea of like where we were.
Okay.
So, I just start off on the monthly chart. It's bullish. Go to the weekly chart. We're
Okay.
within last week's range. So that gives me a heads up like, okay, we're gonna balance. We're not like, how do I say this? Sellers are not in control yet. Buyers are still in control in the longer term, but
Yeah.
we're opening up within Friday's range. So right at the open, I just took a trade. It was right here using the 1 minute chart, 30-second chart. And I used those because I had a potential to get a swing trade going because let's see. I'll just remove the volume part. It was right at the open here. Hopefully it's like you can see it kind of, but like the green
Yeah.
line at the open, I
Yeah.
saw we popped up, so buyers are in control of the open. But right when we came back down, I took a short at the pass back over the open
Mhm.
and I got stopped out, which is very low risk because my risk is at the yellow line. So it's from 18,017 to
Mhm.
18,028.
Okay.
Each point is $2. So on this one, I'm risking $20. So I got
Okay.
stopped out immediately on that one.
Okay.
Um, yeah, for a break even, actually, I think I lowered my stop loss to the open. So I reduced
Mhm.
my risk to zero.
Mhm.
And then I took a buy. So when we were holding the open, I took a buy. And let's see, I did sell a bit early because I just sold at the overnight high. I think it was because it was at VWAP. And then I
Mhm.
took another buy right here, sold it, break. I actually sold that. I might have got stopped out on that. I lifted up my stop for break even. So then I took a sell right here. We were not holding above the overnight high, and I took a sell on that one. And then I told myself I'm stopping out at break even. I want to have a runner. So I add another position. So I am in two
Mhm.
and I take one off in profit as we pass back below the open. And then I held the remaining position
Mhm.
and I did lower my stop a little bit where I got stopped out right here. I know
Okay.
it's a little bit hectic on the
Yeah.
1 minute chart, but
Not bad
if we
though.
were to
But
break down, I
but it
wouldn't know
makes
that.
sense though. Yeah, from a price action standpoint, it makes sense.
Yeah. And
Are
when you,
you
I'll
in
just say really quickly
yeah.
there. The let's see. The way I mark it up every morning is I mark up because this you can see on here, this is all the volume from Friday.
Mm-hmm.
This was Friday. Overnight, I mark up the highest price, and that's the ONH. So that's this yellow line right here.
Uh-huh.
And when we open up on the market, I'm just asking myself, like, are we spending any time above the overnight high? As long as price is above the overnight high, the cash market, meaning like the real trading hours buyers,
Yeah.
are affirming that the overnight buyers are still in control. If we pop back below the overnight high, it's showing you like sellers are in control. So it's
Yeah.
like those rules are what I like about trading the indexes because
Okay.
they're like really specific rules that keep you like, am I in the trade? Am I out of the trade? Manages your risk really well.
Yeah, that honestly does that makes a lot of sense, genuinely, and it usually, it finds a way to like line up with like resistance and support. So it's interesting like how they end up going hand in hand.
And before I go on for too much, I will say though, the one thing that saved me this morning and it helped me out
Mhm.
a lot was looking at those weekly charts. Looking at the weekly chart, we're inside last week's range. We're not really going anywhere as long as
Yeah,
we're below the Friday's high, 18,144,
yeah,
and we're above Friday's low. And most importantly, on the 1 minute chart, 2 minute chart, as soon as we opened, we passed over the opening price, we passed over it multiple times. As soon as you pass over the open multiple times, I believe your mind should immediately be thinking balance. If the strongest buyers, if a market is truly strong,
Yeah.
it's going to just keep pushing. It's going to keep pushing. It's never going to touch back below the open or across the open. And once
Okay.
it crosses over multiple times, for the rest of the day, I've taken no trades. I've just let it pretty much sit, done nothing.
Yeah.
It's a sideways day. I
Yeah.
did actually take a buy later on, around 10, and I raised my stop and I got knocked out. But it was a good day. I think I got 129 bucks on this.
That's nice.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
nice.
it all
That's
worked
nice.
out.
Yeah. So right now you have your 100K funded one, right?
So I have two 50Ks, which
250K.
I
Okay.
lost. If it's like I beat myself up too much and I realized I wasn't a bad trader. I just poorly managed my risk. So I got my 100K account.
Mm-hmm.
I got up 2K profit
Mm-hmm.
and I had a really tilted day. I gave it all back in one day,
Mm-hmm.
but I came back to like 99.7K. So it's like, and then I got knocked out of the account because
Yeah.
the drawdown trails up.
Yeah.
But I should have never given back so much. But I kind of reminded myself, like, you're not a bad trader. You just need to like not, you know what I mean? Like not make these like really like you're not a bad person essentially. I don't even know because sometimes your
Yeah.
mind can like beat yourself up.
Yeah, no, trust me, man. Last week I thought I was the worst trader ever.
Yes.
I was like, maybe I'm just not a good trader, man. You know, literally.
Hearing you say that
Yeah,
helps because
yeah,
right? Exactly. You think like we're thinking like maybe it's just not for me. Like those type of thoughts. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. But it's 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 being okay with losing, but not changing anything when you are losing, because you know in the
Mm,
long term
yes.
I've done it enough time to where it works. So, you know, why would I change anything? But we're human and you know, that's why we do. But it's just interesting, man, for sure, for sure.
And
Like
another
for
cool
me,
thing, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
No, go ahead.
I'll say sizing down helped out a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was trying to make $100 in one trade. Like I was like trying to make like I was trying to get like, well, my account is here. I'm gonna try to make $300.
yeah,
But it's like, no, like you can make $300 in a morning by getting five or six good trades if
yeah,
you're doing like really short term.
mhm,
And longer term, it's even better because like you can get a good trade going and just kind of like build it, build it very slowly. Yeah, there's a whole good technique of doing it the right way and getting good gains.
yeah, for sure. You know, the funny thing is, like, right, when you're losing, the smart thing to do would be to lower your gains. But as a human being, when you're losing, it's like, whoa, no, I need to risk more. I gotta make it back now. Plus
Yes.
I gotta
Yeah.
get in profit now, right? So literally setting yourself up for failure, you know, and that was kind of like my problem last week, is because I was up like 168 pips on GBP USD, and then
Mm,
it completely retraced on me because you know it's like, you know, if I want to be a swing trader, you know, it's like I really just gotta, it's either I'm gonna take profit or it's, you know, I'm gonna just move my stop loss to break even. So it's like, you know, all right, I'm just gonna move my stop loss to break even. And I'm gonna put my big boy pants on, right, and hope it swings. And it
yeah.
didn't. Came back to, you know, came back to break even. I basically made no money. And I was like, man, that was just dumb. Like, you know, like, but you know, within being in a trade, managing your trade is a whole another aspect thing too. So it's like I most definitely learned from that, but doing that made me somebody's knocking on my door, so I have to go get that. But
Oh,
it
sure. Yeah,
like
yeah, go
yeah,
for it.
but like when I made no money, it made me just like wanna get it all back real quick. And just because it didn't swing one way this time, you know, doesn't mean that the market is not going to eventually swing. So it's like, you know, just keeping the same mindset, whether you're right or you're wrong, for sure. It's just, you know, it's what's important for sure, man.
Yeah, yeah. You can
Yeah,
go grab
but
that if you want. I don't mind. Like it's all
yeah,
good.
man. Let me pause this real fast.
All right, cool.
Let me just resume this right back. Yeah,
Yeah.
apologies, man. But yeah, but I know I was talking about GBP USD, but yeah, yeah, man, just kind of like what you're saying, man. Keeping the same mentality, whether you're right or you're wrong, but especially when you're wrong, for sure, I feel like it is when you need it the most. But let me look at tomorrow.
Yeah, I was
Forex
wondering because
factor.
I've noticed it's been like not quiet, but like there hasn't been much ever since that, I don't know,
Yeah,
Fed meeting and maybe a couple things after
yeah.
that. Some
Can
people
you hear that?
talking, maybe. No, no.
Okay, cool. My alarm is going off. He's
Oh yeah.
working. Okay, I'm glad you couldn't hear that. Okay, nah, I'm sorry. Can you say that again, bro?
I remember there was like the Fed meeting back in like
Hmm.
January 31st, and then there was
Yeah,
some people talking. I think there was a couple of weeks where there's a bunch of people just talking, those
yeah.
speakers.
Hmm.
But not much has been going on recently, so I'm
Yeah,
wondering.
yeah.
I haven't been looking into it.
For like the past 2 weeks, it hasn't been like too heavy on the fundamentals, but I think from every day starting tomorrow, there's like USD news, so it should
Oh,
be
okay, yeah,
interesting
yeah.
to see, yeah, if these numbers like drive the market in one way or the other. But if you are free tomorrow, man, maybe we can, see how these
Oh
numbers
yeah.
come out, either, live or post analysis kind of thing. But
I
yeah,
think yeah, tomorrow I'm good. I'm good.
yeah,
One
yeah.
thing I don't know if you can see my screen here, the DXY.
Give me
One
one second.
interesting thing, because I still have these lines from before.
Hmm.
This whole sideways area, I remember you showed this when you were doing your analysis of it.
Hmm.
The this wick right here,
Yeah.
it's like okay, I watched this one woman, she does like pre-market shows every morning,
Hmm.
and she her way of describing this is like a needle. She's like, because she used to work in like the health industry or whatever, like as
Hmm.
a doctor. I'll just say doctor, but like, yeah, anyways, she's like, they're like probing for liquidity. That's how she says it. So
Yeah.
essentially, what I see is like this whole sideways structure,
Yeah.
price dipped into that sideways, and very quickly it scooped back up. And the context of this whole sideways gives this a lot more sense because
Yeah.
price dipped in there, buyers took it all the way back up. Like
Yeah.
buyers saw this as opportunity. There's a limited amount of time because it's a wick.
Right.
So over the course of the day, it only spent a certain portion of that day at that price before it came all the way back up. But I think it would be a red flag if it were to retrace all the way back down,
Yeah,
spend
for
more
sure.
time
Hmm.
in here. So
Right.
yeah,
And but see, and it's interesting that you say that because, if you go to the 4 hour chart, you know,
yeah, yeah.
if you were a seller, to you that could be a signal that that was a new break, a new lower low that
I
happened,
agree.
right?
Yeah.
And now you're hitting the sell button, looking for the market to continue down. But,
And for them, as long as it's lower highs, as like
right,
that's just as long as it's lower highs, you're safe. Like
right, right.
it's just a it's like obvious, not obvious. It's like
Mhm.
the trade is still on. Yeah,
Mhm. Right. So it's interesting how the 4 hour looks more
you're right. I didn't
bearish,
even consider that.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, the 4 hour looks more bearish, but the daily chart looks more bullish. So
yeah. I wonder what the
yeah.
weekly chart looks like. Yeah, yeah, questionable. I mean, it could be turning, but too
Hmm.
early to tell,
Right,
maybe.
right, right. But that's why I'm glad there's like a lot more fundamental news this week, just because, like now there could be a price action bias plus like a more like fundamental bias. But for me, nothing has really changed in the fundamentals and nothing has really changed in the price action. So that's why I'm still leaning with, like, doing what the market has been doing, which has been buying, retracing, but then buying again. So yeah, that's my whole like analysis literally right there.
Hmm. One thing I really want to show really quickly,
Mhm.
because I remember I messaged you and you said you were talking about the process. And like this weekend, I just went through the crypto list and I just started like marking up like the hourly or the daily chart is on top and the hourly chart's on the bottom.
I think I muted you on accident, man.
Oh, it's all good. I think I just
Okay,
unmuted it.
yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Oh no, no
Sorry, say
problem.
that again.
Yeah, like I just went through the crypto charts just to like kind of like just to do something, like just to like
Hmm.
have an idea of where the market is.
Yeah.
And I just marked up all the daily charts and the hourly charts, those two.
Hmm.
And it just goes to show you like if you just stick to the process of like marking up where the resistance is, marking up where the demand supply, all those things, like eventually the market kind of just like shows you what's up and you kind of
Yeah.
get a better gauge because I
Yeah.
was getting too like emotionally minded about like the
Mhm.
crypto market. but
Yeah,
I just spent a good amount of time just like marketing, and these levels are holding. It's amazing.
yeah,
I'm not
but
trading them,
like
but yeah,
it's hard to do, right? Because like the market will eventually react, but like I wanna I don't know how much time we have. Let me see, but
yeah, it's running low, I
we
think.
have about like 5 minutes. But I want to look at show my screen real quick to look at
Yeah, yeah, let's see it.
UAUD, right? Like after imagine like something impulsing this much, and then for the next 1 month it just goes back and forth. Like it's hard at that point, it's hard to forget what just happened, right? Because it's like, dang man, 4 weeks in the market, market has not continued in the direction that it's that it initially did when it made that move. So like you said, like these levels hold, the resistance levels, like they hold, they do something, they react. It might go sideways, but it's kind of like you said, these levels hold, and like eventually the market picks a way that it wants to go, and it'll usually tell you from a price action standpoint, just like you said. But can you be patient enough to wait for the price action? Because even on Euro AUD, I got stopped out. I don't know if it was once or twice, but looking at it now, my stop loss was super low, but I don't even remember where I got stopped out of, right? But I think I was looking to buy it. No, I was looking to buy it like somewhere when it broke out of this, going to 1 hour, when it broke out of like here initially. And then I think I bought it somewhere like down here, got stopped out, right? So wasn't
Okay, I
wrong.
see.
Wasn't
Yeah.
wasn't wrong, right? I'm questioning myself. I'm like, dang, dude, maybe I just suck, right? But the market just needed that structuring, right? And even though I did get stopped out, because realistically my stop loss was stupid, because right, I'm looking to try to get the best stop loss, right? When my stop loss should realistically be below, like passed away all these structures, but it's like, oh man, way too many pips, right? I'm not trying to risk too many pips when in reality, I should adjust, my ratio to what the pip amount is, right? But I'm looking to like try to get that best least stop loss, maximum reward, right? But in reality, the structure always held and it never really went below. And if I would just put my stop loss, just a little bit below the structure, I would have been good, from
Because
from the
know
get-go.
the market doesn't know how much we're risking. The market only
Yeah,
knows how much like how the structure of it. One thing
but
that really benefited me, I can say, is the because I still don't do it completely, but I've started doing it a little bit more now,
mhm,
is the multiple positions.
yeah.
Like having just like yeah, and I know you still do it because I see you have like two different like
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
it
I have
called?
two, yeah, I have two positions,
Yeah.
on this
But
one.
that changed my life a lot. Like
Mhm.
sticking to that. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, man, appreciate you for taking the time to speak with me, man. Go ahead and do this tomorrow if you are free.
Yeah, I think I am
Yeah.
100%.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right, for sure then, man. So thank you, man, again. Doubt anybody's gonna watch this
Yeah.
full length, but if anybody does, appreciate you guys for sure, man. Yeah, man. So I'll see you tomorrow, my brother.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
It's
sir.
good.
All right, man.